Hello YouTube, finally getting around to editing this video, but yeah, this is the whole reason I went to Thailand to learn Muay Thai, and that was just me walking to Rattachai Muay Thai on Fitness Street, and if you don't know, in Phuket there's this street where it's kind of known for having a lot of gyms, Muay Thai gyms, and a couple CrossFit gyms. So this is not on the main street, but it's just like on a side street parallel to the main road. But yeah, just thought I'd record some footage of what training in Thailand, Phuket is like, and I was in Phuket for a total of just over a week. I arrived 6th of March Friday. I didn't train over the weekend. Just thought I'd get used to the weather. But the Saturday after I arrived, I went to the elephant sanctuary in my last video. And yeah, this is a Wednesday. I actually went to Tiger Muay Thai on Monday, but unfortunately I didn't get any footage. They do have a lot of professional fighters there, and they have signs saying please don't record. So yeah, didn't want to break any rules. But yeah, this is the Wednesday. I didn't actually train on Tuesday because on Monday when I went to Tiger, I actually got a little bit injured on my left shin. But yeah, I might get into that a bit later. But yeah, this is generally the class. You have probably like a 15-minute warm-up, probably mostly skipping and a bit of shadow boxing, and then we'll just get into pads and bags. So split into like two groups, and half of us will be like on the pads, the trainer, and half just on the bags by itself. So yeah, it's generally 3 rounds, 5 minutes, and then we'll switch. And yeah. Oh, by the way, this is the afternoon class. I did go in the morning class as well, and there wasn't as many people in the morning class. Probably like maybe a third of how many people are here. And yeah, this is actually the whole gym. Just behind the camera there's a little bit of space for like strength and conditioning, like a couple cardio bikes and a couple extra bags. But yeah, this is basically the whole gym. I just kind of looked on Google Maps and kind of got an idea of which gyms I wanted to go to. But yeah. Yeah, but I must say, even though most gyms have pretty much the same kind of like training, like class schedule, the experience is quite different. Yeah, in my opinion, Rattachai was I would highly recommend you go there. Like even me, you can tell just from the trainer, like puts in a lot of time to correct things, and so obviously like I'm quite a beginner, but yeah, it still takes the time to explain things. But yeah, this is just one technique we learned in the afternoon class. There wasn't any technique in the morning class, but just a rear roundhouse and then followed by a right hand, same side. So kind of like a Superman punch, I think I'd say. Haven't like I'm from Sydney, but I haven't done much Muay Thai in Sydney, but I would assume the class schedule is still pretty much the same thing. I didn't include any footage of the more experienced guys, but when they were with the pad holders, like the pad holders would kind of might throw in a few kicks and sweeps and make it a bit more challenging. But this is the second technique they showed, and it was just following up from the first one, as using the first technique as a counter to when your opponent kicks you with the right hand, so with the rear leg. Move this side and then just use the same technique we learned, which is rear kick and then right hand, or whichever hand depending on what stance you are. But yeah, I'd highly recommend Rattachai, because you can see, I know you can't see now, but the banner says welcome to the Rattachai family, and I'd say it really is kind of like family, because as I said, when I still had an injury from Monday, and couldn't really do any left kicks with my left leg. So, but yeah, at the end, the trainer even rubbed Tiger balm on my shin. And this is just the end of the class. A bit of light stretching, and yeah, even in the stretching, you see they're helping out, kind of encouraging us not to just slack off at the end. Now this is the next day where I went to Phuket top team, and I'd say I didn't really. So in the morning I went to the Muay Thai class, and I ended up not actually going to the afternoon Muay Thai class. And normally each of these gyms, they have 2 sessions a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Because and yeah, I didn't get any footage of the Muay Thai class in the morning, so this is just some rolling footage of me jiu-jitsu in the afternoon. Where the reason I didn't choose to do the afternoon class is because I didn't really quite enjoy the morning class. The warm-up was half an hour. It's the longest warm-up that I experienced, and then just running around and not really Muay Thai specific, and that's sparring as well. Personally, I think I don't know if beginners should be doing sparring, but I guess with the right partner it's still a good learning experience. But yeah, they had sparring, and luckily the person I was paired up with was quite forgiving, and still managed to learn some things. But yeah, at the end of the class, the stretching part, they just didn't really care. So yeah, that's the general vibe I kind of got. Compared to Rattachai, it was not. They just, I don't know, they just didn't really seem to care that much. But yeah, I ended up just doing I think it was called some kind of striking class in the afternoon. That was actually taken by an ex-UFC fighter, Vaughn Lee. It's kind of I think it's kind of Wing Chun inspired, but yeah, interesting. But I don't think it's my cup of tea. And then I just did jiu-jitsu class at night, which was quite good actually. I think it's one of only two gyms on the actual fitness street or that have jiu-jitsu, the other being Tiger and Muay Thai. But yeah, I'm a big UFC fan, and I already know, I already had an idea of Tiger's reputation, with regards to training. It's not, they're by far the biggest gym on the street, and they have kind of this kind of, I guess, the same kind of feeling that I got at Phuket top team, which was like they don't really care that much. But being a big UFC fan, and like because some fighters train out of there, like Valentina Shevchenko and Khalil Roundtree. So yeah, I still wanted to go visit and try it out. And also it was only one of the few places that had jiu-jitsu, so yeah, I had to go and visit. And I ended up actually seeing Khalil Roundtree. I think he was training for a fight with Sam Alvey, but yeah, Peter Yan was there too. But yeah, since I don't have any footage of my time at Tiger, so I guess talk about it now. So actually, I went to the morning. I actually trained quite a bit on the Monday, so I did 2 hours of Muay Thai in the morning, then an hour boxing class, then I did the afternoon Muay Thai, and then 2 jiu-jitsu classes at night, which ended up being a total of like 7 hours or 6 hours something, or yeah, it's quite a lot. But I actually got injured in the afternoon Muay Thai class when like they had sparring as well, and like they didn't have, like they asked us if we had shin pads, and like I didn't have any shin pads, but I think they didn't have any like spares lying around. So I mean, just sparring like with no shin pads. And then the guy I was paired up with, kind of like, I don't know, he didn't understand. He just is kicking pretty hard, and like I've literally done like one lesson of Muay Thai in Sydney, and then that was basically my third lesson ever. So I thought it was a bit over the top. The guy, like I even told him I'm a beginner and take it easy, but he's still, I don't know, like whenever I didn't want to hit him that much, and when I was basically just standing there like getting hit, and because we're in the ring, and then there was like another pair next to us, couldn't really move around that much, so just kind of standing there getting hit. And when I like did manage to kind of do something, he would kind of want to get me back even harder, and then I kind of just lightly tipped him, and then kicked me. Like I knew, like when I threw a rear kick, like a light roundhouse kick, I knew he would come back with his roundhouse kick, so I just checked it. But yeah, he's kind of went really hard, and then ended up swelling my leg up pretty bad on that Monday. I just got tapped by Kimura there. But yeah, apart from that, it was an okay experience. The jiu-jitsu was kind of, I'd say in comparison to Phuket top team, the average level at Phuket was probably higher, less people, but Tiger the mat was huge, and there was a lot of people. But yeah, the instruction here was quite, like, the feeling was everyone kind of really already knew like everyone seemed to be regulars, and it was probably more close to just drilling. But the class at Tiger was probably more similar to what you might be used to. I'd still recommend both, but for a beginner, probably Tiger, you'd probably enjoy Tiger more. Just bear in mind that Tiger probably has more people that are beginners, and spicy white belt syndrome. Yeah, the morning Muay Thai class at Phuket was not that full. Probably like 10 to 15 people, but the evening class was like a lot more people were there. So I'm not sure. the experience was that much different. Yeah, because I had the injury on Monday, I took Tuesday off, and I was hoping that it'd be a lot better by Wednesday, but it wasn't. So yeah, the whole time I wasn't able to do any left kicks. Yeah, I also sped up everything by 1.5, and the rolling footage still seems slow. So jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, maybe might not be the most exciting thing. Yeah, I didn't want to have this video too long. It's already 26 minutes. And also, just for your information, I've been training jiu-jitsu since the start of 2018. So in 2018 I trained like a lot, probably 5 times a week on average, and then 2019 until around September was decently consistent. But in the second half of 2019, because the work was really bad, and yeah, even this year, well, I can't be training anymore because of COVID, but yeah. So I'd probably say 1.5 to 2 years experience. Try and go for all the party here. Maybe look for a sweep. I'm not sure if that counts as a sweep. Oh, end up in mount. I soon stopped because his pants were falling off. Right about here, I think. Oh, sorry. Soon. Yeah, right here. Yeah, the next day, just walking to CMT Muay Thai. And this is probably in the middle of the whole road and just on a side street as well. And also Phuket Top Team was it's essentially like on the opposite side of the road to Tiger. And apologies for the glare. This was in the afternoon. I didn't know that it turned out like this. But probably CMT, it was probably the quietest gym that I went to. The morning class probably had like 5 people, and the afternoon I think it was around 10 people. And yeah, didn't train on Tuesday, and then I flew to Bangkok on Sunday, I think. So yeah, I think I was worried about my carry-on luggage being over, so I didn't train on Saturday because I knew my clothes would be still wet and I wouldn't be able to dry them in time. Turns out I could have what's it called, checked luggage, so it didn't end up being a problem. But yeah, there was a couple of gyms I didn't manage to go to, so Dragon and T&Y. T&Y was just at the start of the video clip before this, next to the horses, so like the left kind of when you're heading towards CMT, but I didn't manage to go to those ones. But yeah, according to Google, they're also quite highly reviewed. But yeah, even at CMT, the trainers are like taking the time to correct things. That's the arm, so oh man. But yeah, out of the 4 gyms I went to, CMT was the only place that I actually learned anything about the clinch, which is like the thing that kind of makes Muay Thai fighters so renowned, the clinch. And I learned a bit of like some clinch techniques in the morning class, but yeah, it's the only place where they taught those techniques. But I do have to say, like every day is a different kind of schedule. So I might have been unlucky and just went to the day at Phuket where they had sparring and no clinch technique. But yeah, if you're curious about like Fitness Street and Soi Ta-iad, I'd recommend watching some of Brad Newton's, I think that's his channel name, myself, like in preparation before going, I watched a lot of his videos, and he's got videos of at each of these places too, and some places I haven't visited, so yeah, and it does a better job at vlogging them, so I recommend checking them out. It's got lots of info just surrounding like food, accommodation, yeah, things to prepare for, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately due to the virus and everything, the gym that I was planning to go to in Bangkok was shut down, so the whole point of the trip was kind of cut short, so I really only trained 4 days out of the 3 weeks that I went, that I planned to go anyway. Yeah, each of the places I went to, like Tiger has beginner, intermediate and like advanced and fighters only classes, so if you're a beginner, like there's nothing to worry about, because like as you can see, I'm a beginner. I've done a handful of boxing classes, but that's about it. So everywhere I went to was very accommodating to your skill level. Here I think was the technique portion of the afternoon class. Can't really see, but it's a it's a 1-2, lean back to avoid the rehand, and then 2-3-2, I think. Rehand, hook, and then lead hook, and then rehand again, I believe. Here I am getting confused with the big guy, the big trainer. 1-2, lean back, 2-3-2. Yep. There's some basic combinations, I think. Also, the skipping that at the start of the class, every gym, like they don't use normal skipping reps, they've used like they're almost like hoses. So yeah, shoulders definitely feel the burn. I guess in kind of a striking art, you're always keeping your hands up, so good to develop those shoulders. And this was just the second kind of combination. I think it's a didn't quite get that actually. 1, 2, slip, slip, tuck under, roll under, and then 2, 3, 2, I think. Not sure. But yeah, this is just the end of the class, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully someone finds this helpful. But I'll link to all the places I went to in the description. But yeah. Definitely want to go back maybe sometime next year, but see you next time.